My name's Jacob Setzer. As in our group, had the opportunity and chance to go to Northgate Church out in Fort Worth, Texas. Northgate Church is a little different from most churches you would see or attend, in that Northgate is what we call and what they call a portable church. Northgate actually meets at a movie theater, a United Artists movie theater, every Sunday morning. That is their church building and physical location. But what they do is each morning they unload from a trailer everything they need for the service. That includes all equipment, sound equipment, all video equipment, all musical instruments, microphones, everything, stage. They unload everything. And so that's the heart of Northgate. We were able to go on a Sunday morning on April 7th. We had to be out there at 6:30, so we left DBU around about 5:30 in the morning. And so we arrived there and were able to jump in immediately and start helping them set up. We helped them set up, stayed for the service, and then we attended and assisted in takedown as well. So in the following clip, you're going to be able to see a little bit like what setup was like and a little bit about the service and some more after that.
Ocean, I'm ankle deep. I feel the waves crashing on my feet. It's like I know where I need to be, but I can't figure out just how much air I will need to breathe when your tide rushes over me. There's only one way to figure out. Will you let me drown? Yeah, will you let me drown? And hey now, this is my desire. Consume me like a fire. 'Cause I just want something beautiful to touch me. I know that I'm married, 'cause I am down on my knees and waiting for something beautiful. And the water is rising quick, and for years I was scared of it. We can't be sure when it will subside, so I won't leave your side. No, I can't leave your side. Hey now, this is my desire. Consume me like a fire, 'cause I just want something beautiful to touch me. I know that I'm married, 'cause I am down on my knees and waiting for something beautiful. Oh, 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 something beautiful. Oh, 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 something beautiful. In a daydream, I couldn't live like this. I wouldn't stop until I found something beautiful. But when I wake up, and all I want I have, you know it's still not what I need. Something beautiful. Hey now, this is my desire. Consume me like a fire, 'cause I just want something beautiful to touch me. I know that I'm in reach, 'cause I am down on my knees and waiting for something beautiful. Oh, 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 something beautiful. Oh, 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 something beautiful.
Good morning, guys. Good morning. Tell you, when the lights were off, I could see you all so well. And now I can't see you. So I'm just kidding. I can still see you, so don't go to sleep. The credit has to go to God because He's the author of it. He's the one that penned it. It says not only that in verse 4, it says that Christ was buried, that He was raised on the third day, according to what? The writings. To move past, as we're about to talk about in our new series, move past good intentions. We don't need good intentions. We need radical abandonment to Christ in every way.
We had the opportunity to sit down with Corey, the worship leader, and Jason, the pastor, after the service, and here's what they had to say. Introduce yourself and what you do at this church, and how you're.
Yeah, my name is Corey Bomer, and I am the student minister, and I'm also the worship arts minister. And so I'm over all of the stuff we do on Sunday morning as far as worship is involved, with lighting, with what we put on the screen, from the band that we have, and then also I'm in charge of all the student stuff that we do in the student ministry, which is called Echo.
Okay. Now run me through like a normal Sunday morning, step by step from setup to tape.
Yeah, we get here at 6:30 in the morning, and our trailers pull up just a little bit before that, and we have our volunteers that show up, different men and women that give 6:30 in the morning on Sundays to us and to God, and they're pretty faithful. So we show up, we start unloading, we start setting all the crates that we have, we pull them into the theaters, then we start unloading those, setting up staging in the worship area, setting up curtains in the children's area, and also in the lobby. We set up coffee. We have that made every Sunday morning. We have donuts, all that kind of stuff. The guest services area. So we set up lights. We have trusses. We have screens sometimes. We use the theater screen. So we have projectors that we have to set up. We have full sound system. Many cords run everywhere because we have full band, drums, bass, guitar, keyboard, and electric, and then we have vocals. So it's a pretty big process. So we get that done. It takes us about a little less than an hour. We've got it down to a science. And so we do that, and then we have band rehearsal from 8:15 to about 9 o'clock. And then we have our prayer time, and then we also have the lobby area open for people just to hang out, get check-in for the kids area. And then 9:30 we have our service. Service usually goes to about 10:45. And so once that's over, we go out in the lobby, say our goodbyes, meet the people, the visitors, and then we start tearing down. And tearing down goes a little bit faster. So we're out of here by 11:30, trucks loaded, taking off, going to lunch by 11:30. So 6:30 to 11:30 are our Sunday mornings.
So if I get this right, every morning you have to set up and take down every week and every Sunday morning.
That is correct. We have cases that everything fit in perfectly.
And it's all portable. It goes in a trailer.
It goes in 2 trailers, and they actually stay at our old facility.
Okay, last question I have for you. Where do you see this church in 5 to 10 years?
Yeah, we're doing a thing called Greater Things, which is kind of a 5-year plan for us. And the first year, which we're still in, is to get out of debt, which when this church went portable, they had to pay for all the stuff because we have a lot of nice stuff. And so that's the only debt that we have. And so our goal was to get out of debt, and we've already cut that in half in like 6 months, which is amazing. Our people have just been giving towards that. And then from there, we want to find a facility that we can kind of maybe lease or maybe even own. And then we want to sell our building, which we still own, and then purchase land and have our own facility built in certain area over here that we've been looking at. So that's what we're praying for, and that's kind of where we're headed. So
Awesome.
yeah.
Awesome. Well, I appreciate you letting us do this. So
Yeah.
thank you so much.
Yeah.
So just introduce yourself for me, who you are and what you do here at Northgate Church.
Okay, I'm Jason Fortenberry. I'm the lead pastor here at the church. I give the vision, helping the organization, of course, the majority of the decision making, along with the staff as well, and our leadership team.
Okay, awesome. Now, organizing is all about putting people in different places, giving them different tasks and responsibilities, basically in their own separate departments. So, how do you guys do that? As in, who does what for Northgate Church?
Sure. Well, we think people thrive when they're serving within their skill set. And so what we try to do is we inquire and we ask where people desire to serve, what they're gifted at. So we have a lot of people that serve in our kids' environment. We have people that serve in our lobby area. We have people that do help set up and tear down, but those might not necessarily be the same people. So we try to place people in places that we think that they'll be happy, because if they're happy, they'll stick around and they'll be faithful to serve and volunteer in those areas. So one thing we try to do well is listen to our people and find out exactly where they fit, because we think that the overall working of Northgate Church is, as Scripture says, each person has to do their part. So we want to make sure that our people are in the right positions.
Okay.
So
Awesome. What would you say is your organizational structure? Basically, from the members to you, the pastor, what would you say? Go through that for me.
Okay, we are staff and trustee-led church. We essentially, myself along with my staff members and then 4 trustees, I call them our leadership team, we make the majority of the decisions. If there's a decision that needs to be made over $500,000, over $500,000, then it goes to the church. But our people are very supportive of that. We have one meeting in December, the first Sunday of December, where we approve our new budget. Most of the leadership, most of the decisions are made through myself and the staff, along with the guidance of a team of leaders. For us as our trustee team, and our people always are getting information, so we keep them in the know. But as far as all the overall decision making, it really rests within, in large part, within the staff and the leadership team. Of course, we see the importance of good communication, so our people don't wonder what's going on, they know what's going on, and that's crucial. If you miscommunicate, it's a disaster in any business or church. So we make sure that our people know what's going on.
In many aspects, your role as a pastor is similar to a business manager or a CEO. So how do you manage as, say, a businessman or a CEO would? How are you guys similar in that aspect?
Oh, wow. Probably in large part organization, lots of communication, letting people know what needs to be done, how it needs to be done, what the objective is, because if they don't know what needs to be accomplished, they can't get it done. So I think just a lot of being very heavy on communication, trying to do that well, trying to articulate what our church is about, whether it's from the volunteers to the overall service and atmosphere, everything we do. So I think that leadership is extremely important, because if your people won't follow you, whether you're a CEO of a company or whether you're a lead pastor of a church, if your people if they're not comfortable with you, they're not going to work hard. For us, they're not going to volunteer. For us, they're not going to give, because they don't believe in your leadership and they don't believe in the vision that you're casting. So I think those things are similar, and you got to know your people and you got to connect with them. I think for a CEO, that's important, to connect with the people that are underneath them, and I think for me, that's extremely important, to have a connection with our people.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, one of the main goals of this project is for us to offer our assistance and advice in helping you guys manage what you're doing. So, if I were to ask you what you needed the most help with, and maybe where you guys needed assistance, what would you say that would be?
Probably we could always use better organization. We could always use more volunteers, because our volunteers are on a 4 to 5 week rotation. But I'll give you an example, this morning 2 backed out, so then you're plugging people in. So it would be nice to have a pool of backup volunteers, so when people bail, you plug them in.
Yeah.
We don't have enough volunteers to do that, so it does create some tension.
Probably
there.
one of
Our greatest needs, being portable, is to have a home, to have a face in the community. There's something to be said for that. Like, we're thriving, I think, as a portable church, but no one knows we're here. I tell people that we're the best kept secret in this area because people don't know we exist because we lease the theater from 6:30 to 11:30. Even though I think God's doing extraordinary things in our organization, our structure is great, people don't know about us. And so to me, probably our greatest need would be to have a face in the community where people say, hey, you know, there's a face that's constantly in front of people.
Well, Jason, thank you so much for letting us do this for you. We appreciate it very much.
Okay, thank you.
Our topic specific to management was organizing. So we had to look at the organizing aspects of how Northgate operated and the management side of that. So here's some suggestions we saw. Northgate.
Hello, my name is Gabriel Colon, and what I observed from going to the event was that maybe I just wanted to suggest that you guys can do a more delegation to the teams that are coming in the morning to set up. Maybe you can have more volunteers that will help out and have some leaders in those teams that will be in charge of the setup. That way, the worship leader can focus in the worship, and the preacher can focus in preaching, and that way you guys can have more free time. Also, I know that you guys were having some problems with recruiting individuals. I think that you guys should maybe on Sunday mornings also keep asking for help every Sunday so that you can increase the teams that help out with the setup. But I definitely wanted to recommend more delegation to the individuals with the setup, so that way you guys can have more free time. Also, I know that some of the tasks are very specific, like the soundboard and setting up some of the stuff, the lighting. That way you guys can also do some of the training, and Laney's going to talk about that a little bit later. But this is my suggestion.
Hi, my name is Marissa Robinson, and I came to volunteer with my group on Sunday. One of the things that was mentioned in both interviews was that you wanted to put your church out there and maybe get a better marketing strategy. I researched and came up with a few tips to help you with your marketing strategy. One of them is to keep all of your thoughts on marketing and any new ideas that you come up with in one specific notebook. That way, whenever you're going over it, you have time to look at it, go over it, and you know where everything's at. Another one is to set clear boundaries and goals for yourself. Make sure that the outcome is clear. That way you know exactly where you're headed, and to plan far into your marketing ideas. In order to make them a reality, marketing requires planning and staying consistent with each of your ideas to make it a reality. Another suggestion is taking out time in your day, maybe an hour or two if you have that time, to just think about marketing and where you see yourself going with it. That way, whenever you plan far into it, there isn't as much room for disasters or little mishaps. It becomes easier to think of
Hi, my name is Lane Anderson, and when we came to y'all's church and were able to set up, I noticed that there were times where, especially being the first time there, that we were a little confused and didn't really know what to do, and we had to grab one of y'all and ask. And I know that's not a big deal, but if you think about it, being there at 6:30 in the morning all the time, you can save better. So my suggestion is that when somebody is there for the first time, they just kind of stick with one of the guys that knows more about what they're doing, Corey or Jason, or a guy that's there every time, so they kind of pick up the ropes, and the next time they return, they're able to just jump right in and not ask so many questions and do what they need to get done. Also, one other thing that Corey, you mentioned in the interview is that after y'all get everything set up, the band has rehearsal. And I understand that that's a popular thing to do nowadays, have rehearsal on Sundays, so it's still fresh on your mind. But I would just like to suggest that maybe y'all get together at a location, since y'all are able to get together at locations, other locations. Y'all get together at a location and just have rehearsal on Saturday night or something like that, a time that everybody can do it. That way y'all save about an hour before service, and maybe y'all can start a little later. That's all I have. Thanks for listening.